You know what I need more of in my life? Space lions. Space lions and upper body strength. Our friend Shannon over at 901 Games asked if we wanted to open his shiny new copy of Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Yeah. Today we're going to crack open this monster and give you a detailed look at this amazing game. Bring in the crane. Let's make it hot. Welcome to Board Game Nation. My name is Gary Blevins. Thank you so much for watching. On this channel, we do unboxings, how-tos, and strategy videos for great games like this one. But when we can, we also do a travel show that focuses on your favorite board game stores. So if you like anything having to do with tabletop gaming, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks. Let's start with the basics. This is a fantasy flight game designed by Christian T. Peterson. It's for ages 14 and up, plays between 3 to 6 players, and in 4 to 8 hours. You're going to need a pretty serious attention span. It says here that it's an epic board game of conquest, politics, and trade. And by that, it means that you're going to need an epically big table and a huge chunk of time. Based on what I've seen at Gen Con and what my friends tell me, you're going to need a table that's at least 3 by 6 feet. Or if you've got the knees in the back for it, you can play on the floor. Watch out for the cat. Just looking at the back of the box, we can see this game's got a ton of components. Was it 354 plastic units, 50 agenda cards, 80 action cards, 120 technology cards, and 1.6 million tokens? Is this right? This is going to take a minute. Here's how we're going to tackle this beast. First, we're going to crack the plastic and do a quick run through of everything that's inside. Then we'll get you a closer look at all the different components. We'll do some still shots of the player info cards, the decks of cards, and the plastic pieces. If you're looking for details about a specific item, jump down to the description for the time codes for that section. All right, I think we're ready. Let's get down to the felt and check this game out. All right, boys, bring it in, nice and slow. All right, here we go. Twilight Imperium 4th edition. Let's crack this plastic. It's a lot of plastic. All right. There we go. Really great box art. Magnificent piece, glorious war. For those of you keeping track at home, study your Latin. Space lions speak Latin. I don't know if that's in the rule book or not, but I believe that it's true. So here's the cover. Oh. Quick look at the sides. Oh. All right, and here's the back. The dawn of a new age. Lots of flavor text, pictures. Lots of details here. There's a list of the game components, all 6.34 million of them. All right, let's get into this thing. The suspense is killing me. Or maybe it's the weight, I can't tell. All right, here we go. Nothing inside the box top. Set that guy down. All right. We've got all of the different punch cards. We're going to go through those in a few minutes. First, we have a Learn to Play. Let's move this over here. Oh. Let's put this over here. Got a Learn to Play. This is where I imagine we'd start. Wow, some great art. The components. Game setup details. I wonder if it actually says in there that you need a 3 to 6 foot table, 3 by 6 foot table. Winning the game. The objective is apparently to get 10 victory points, or I guess there's a couple of different objectives. That's pretty cool. Some advanced rules. Different setups based on the number of players. So that's pretty cool. All right, all told, it's 24. The Learn to Play is 24 pages. If that's an indication of how heavy this game is from a strategy point of view, from a rules point of view, there you go. All right, next we've got a lore compendium. This is all backstory for all of your aliens, and again, just more Amazing art. Say whatever you want about Fantasy Flight, man. They've got some amazing artists on their team. There's no doubt about that. Very cool. Very cool. The rules reference. What do we got in here? This is a glossary of terms in alphabetical order. More text, fewer images. This is more just if you want to know what gravity rifting is, which I'm sure is probably going to be important at some point. There you go. And there's some art in here, not a lot, but this is more just for gameplay. That's a cool shot. And then an index. That's handy. That's pretty cool. And that's 32 pages. So the reference guide is 32 pages to go with your 24-page rulebook. I like it. Okay, these look like player sheets. And they come in a handy Ziploc bag. A very snug Ziploc bag. And again, we're going to go through these in detail in just a minute. But they've got kind of role play information on the back, information about the different race, and then of course all the ship details and information about here's my Uncle Ted. And my Aunt Susan. Here we go. Next, we have another big Ziploc bag, and this looks like a partner to the player sheet. So this would sit like this. All right, you got your tokens and whatever, and if you've got questions, you can pull this out for a quick reference guide, which is pretty handy. So you can take a look at that real quick. We're gonna have more on this in just a few minutes, but here's a quick look at how this is supposed to work. And these match the different colors of the players, so that's pretty cool. And again, that's got its own Ziploc bag. Let's look at the quick decks of cards here. Got bunches of these. Time for a closer look. Here are the various decks of cards spread out. Each of the 6 colors has a deck, and there's a technology deck and a deck of planet cards and an agenda deck and a bunch of other stuff I need to learn about. Here are the plastic units in their resealable plastic bags. When we broke them out and set them up, we found that each color had the same type and number of units. This makes sense because there's 17 different factions that can be played in this version alone. This gives the players the ability to match them with whichever race they're playing in this game. I think these look amazing, and I'm sure that there's a community of folks out there that paint these, which I think would be really cool. Next up, here are the punch cards. In this first shot, I've added a hex tile from a copy of Settlers of Catan to give you a comparison. We're going to move through this pretty fast. Pause if you need to see one more closely. They're in the order that they came in the box. We have a number of artist friends that use these board game punch-out cards as stencils, so here's a quick look at those. Now for the alien profile cards. We love that these are two-sided. One side has the critical stats, while the other has the starting setup and the history of the race and their planet, all with this amazing art. Very cool stuff. Again, these are in the order that they came in the box. Pause if you want to look at any of them more closely. These are called command sheets, and there's one for each of the 6 colors. They're reversible, and they act as a quick reference guide for the players. If you're getting value from this video, why don't you take a second, give us a thumbs up, think about subscribing to the channel. Thanks. And bum-ba-da-da, this is what the game looks like set up. I used the quick reference setup guide in the rules and a few online resources. This is the setup for 3 players, and as you can see, it completely fills my table. The idea that I'd be able to play even 4 players on this table, let alone 6, is clearly impossible. My table measures 63 by 31 inches. Not the 3 by 6 foot that's recommended, but you can see without that bigger table, I'd be crawling around on the floor. Per the Quick Start Guide, we set up the Emirates of Hakan, the Latin-speaking Space Lions, the Federation of Sol, featuring my Uncle Ted, and the Kshioe Kingdom. I'm going to call them Dos Equis. I think this may be where the Dos Equis guy is actually from. I don't take over galaxies often, but when I do, I use Dos Equis. Here's their setup. Over to the Federation of Sol. Here's Uncle Ted's setup. Very nice. And finally, the Emirates of Hakan, our Space Lions. Am I the only one that hears James Earl Jones's voice when I look at this picture? Anyway, over to the Communal Area. This game ends when one player gets a set number of victory points. Here's the tracker for that. Here are the various decks to draw from, extra tokens, objectives, and strategy cards. If you have space, you can lay out the strategy cards in an arc, which looks pretty cool. Resisting the urge to sing Rainbow Connection. Moving on. Being new to the game and wanting it to look as good as I could make it, this setup took about 40 minutes. I'm sure it'd be faster for those that had done it before and with more than one person, and, you know, if you're not trying to set up a product photo shoot. Whenever I see a game that has this many individual components, I always start to wonder about storage. And I'll tell you, I'm not in love with the plastic insert that this game comes with. Let's take a closer look. After I finished setting everything up, I tried to put everything back, and you can see that there's a lot of plastic bags in here. Now, the only ones that the game came with are the ones that hold the actual pieces, right? Not the tokens. So these are all bags that I've added. Now imagine trying to have these in here and loose, right? And I ran out of plastic bags, so these are still kind of loose over here. These I put rubber bands around, and this apparently magically fits right there in the center. We also get plastic bags for the player cards and the assistant cards, I guess. So that sits down in there, this goes over here, and then your rule books sit on top. I'm not in love with this because you can't really set it on its side, and the box art is so good that I'd hate to just kind of tuck this away and not be able to see it. So, and it's a little cumbersome. That's what it looks like, all sealed up. Sound effects free of charge. As with any game this size, there are a ton of accessories, including playmats and box inserts. Our friends at the Broken Token have a pretty cool storage solution that fits all the elements of this game very nicely into this box. It's not cheap, but it is a near perfect design. One of the reasons why it's so great is that they've anticipated an expansion, and their bet has just paid off. An expansion called Prophecy of Kings just dropped and is available in game stores now. I understand that this expansion brings additional content to nearly every part of the game and increases the possible number of players to 8. I guess we're going to need another ping pong table, or I'm going to need a better back brace. So my buddy Shannon from 901 Games calls me and says, "Hey Gary, I just bought a copy of Twilight Imperium 4th edition. You want to do an unboxing video?" And I say, "Sure, absolutely. I'm always looking for great games that we can share with people and feature on the channel." Now, I'll admit, I didn't know that much about this game when I so eagerly said yes. And now this is an amazing game, and I'm grateful for the chance to open it and share it with all of you, but I think Shannon might have gotten the better end of the deal here. Unboxing this game and punching out the stack of cardboard punch cards and organizing the box took about an hour and a half, resulted in a number of very inky fingers and a ton of cardboard shavings all over my table and my carpet. So, a word to the wise. You're going to want to start opening this game long before your friends are scheduled to arrive and have your vacuum cleaner handy. Otherwise, you're going to spend more time messing with the cardboard punch-outs rather than actually playing the game. Shannon, enjoy our premium unboxing and storage solution services. We're super excited about this game, so you can expect to see more content about Twilight Imperium coming soon. When those videos are ready, they'll be right here. If you'd like to see other unboxings that we've done, here you go. This is our latest bit of mayhem. And if you're ready to join us at Board Game Nation, click here to subscribe. My name is Gary Blevins. This is Board Game Nation. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.